as our guest in the Coleman Conversation, Barry Sloane, President, CEO, Newtek, the nation's #1 SBA 7(a) lender. Really, Barry, $2 billion. Congratulations.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it. It's an overnight success. It just took over 22 years to get here. That's all.
Well, you and I go way back, and I followed you. I guess the first question is you've done it all, and you were a non-bank lender. Now that you have a bank, how much easier is it?
Yeah, I want to be careful with easier because nothing is easy.
I know. I'm sorry for setting you up, but I know it's a loaded question. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, listen, I would tell you that the opportunity to originate out of a bank is easier than a non-bank lender. The complications of the non-bank lender with the multi-party agreement, securitization exits, it just made things a lot more difficult. The banking rules and regs are black and white. You follow the banking rules and regs that are black and white, you're golden. So it's been a good situation for us. But, given sort of the banking regs, we still have the non-bank lender in a rundown mode. So we're still dealing with a lot of the older issues, but we're very pleased that NewtekOne is now a technology-enabled business that provides solutions, both business and financial, and is a depository. Notice I did not position ourselves as a bank or a bank holding company.
I love it. Very nice. Very nice. Let's start with the easy stuff. I'm sorry for the zinger right out of the box.
No, it's fine. Listen, it's all good. It's all keeps me on my toes.
Let's take it from the top. SBA 7(a) lending. How important is it for Main Street, for the economy, and for Newtek?
The SBA program is a brilliant program. I have to say that. It's incredible how poorly understood SBA lending is to the banking industry and even the capital markets. The long amortization, the no balloons, the covenant light aspect of it is incredibly important, valuable source of capital, all offset by, I'm going to use the word, a slightly higher rate and government insurance, which historically was zero budget. So if you actually look at it, it's not that complicated.
Right. It's execution. There's no secret.
That's right.
It's all execution. Yeah.
Correct.
Well, you've done that very, very well. And again, congratulations with those numbers. Outlook for 25?
We have a new administration. Surprise, surprise to everybody. And the new administration is changing or attempting to change the structure of the U.S. economy from consumption-based to an investment-based. That is a very noble goal. I think it's a good goal. I think even people from the other side of the aisle think it's a good goal.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
But unfortunately, we're in a world where nobody wants to have any pain, and we're in it. I mean, we're gonna feel the pain because it's disruptive.
Right.
So if all of a sudden the universe of businesses gets disrupted, you only need the 5 or 10% in the extremes to get disrupted, where they have a problem. So I think it's going to be a tough year for us, other lenders, and people in the banking industry. But hopefully, he'll continue to push forward on the plan, and there'll be other things from a timing perspective that will be beneficial. And some of these businesses that are disrupted and hurt by the changes will be able to figure out how to reposition themselves and recover.
Barry, I think that's a great answer because the chaos that we're seeing, last week it was the horror, and 1 week later, things are looking so rosy. The market is rebounded, so it's changing dramatically. And I like how you put that is disruption and there's pain points, but hopefully at the end of this, it's great for Main Street, for jobs, and for lenders who help create those jobs. Let me ask you this. The $10 million I predict will happen. It's bipartisan. How important is that going to be to Newtek? I should have set that up. I apologize.
Yeah.
The bipartisan 7A is going to bump it to 10 million. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. I think we all would have liked to have had it expanded beyond manufacturing. It is what it is. But for $10 million for manufacturers, how important will that be for Newtek?
Right. So what I've heard, Bob, and you're probably closer to this than I am, the 10 million would just be for manufacturers, not
Correct.
others. Okay, got
Correct.
it. So I think it's important because that will offset other aspects of the program that are negative to lenders. So I think it is important, and there'll be a heightened focus on providing that funding to manufacturers. So no, I think it's going to be important.
Yeah, and I agree with you. We don't know how it is. I do know it's going to be a different type of lending. The lender cannot, I don't care if you're a bank, a community bank, a large bank, you're going to underwrite a $10 million loan, significantly different than you would a $2.5 million loan. The risk is that much greater. You better know what you're doing. But while we're on that subject, and this is in the weeds, so I apologize, but
okay.
SBA is changing the rules on if you're a preferred lender, you can't process it through, get their blessing. But let me ask you this, alternative credit sources, someone just doesn't hit the mark in terms of you can help them out with 7A. What other type of programs can you help out that entrepreneur with?
So I appreciate the question, Bob, and it's an important aspect of what we do. As a non-bank in 2017, we established a program which we call the Alternative Loan Program. So loans from $500,000 to $15 million, we provide funding to the same type of borrowers that would go to the SBA market. Here's the similarities. It's 10 to 25-year AM, there's no balloon payments, and there's no covenants. It's fixed for 5 and then it adjusts. So
interesting.
We've been doing this now and funded $480 million. We just did a securitization. It's our third securitization in the space. So for businesses that are maxed on the 5 million, that don't qualify for credit elsewhere, that want to fix for 5-year and then an adjust versus a prime float, we have the Alternative Loan Program. And if, for example, you've got a borrower that only occupies 49% of the real estate, that can come to our program. Maybe 98% of the business is owned by U.S. citizens and 2% is owned by a non-citizen, so it can't qualify. We could put it in this other program. So we have solutions for when the loan does not fit the SBA box.
Very nice. I like that. What other types of programs are you involved with in terms of government guarantee? Do you go down to the state level and work with individual states?
It's a good question. We're about to do a joint venture with a top 5 world money manager, and they have an impact fund that we'll talk about, and we're going to really start working much more closer with local municipal and state governments and their departments of economic development. We have a referral system, so we're the organization that has no branches, bankers, brokers, or BDOs, and we have alliance partners that give us referrals every day. And that's across all the different disciplines: payroll, insurance, merchant services, et cetera. But we're going to look to expand the universe. We get 600 to 900 business referrals a day.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I'd like that to be 6,000 and 9,000. Yeah. So we will do $2 billion of loans this year. That's our forecast. We did $1.5 billion last year. Very that's not just 7A, that's across the whole spectrum.
Right. No, yeah. It's very, very, very impressive. A lot of our viewers are going to be in the SBA industry. Talk a little bit more about your quote alliance, and how would you like to work with SBA loan brokers as well as other SBA lenders?
We make it very easy for a loan broker, a community bank, a credit union, a trade association, an accountant, a lawyer, anybody that has the relationship with the business that's trying to help the business. We developed our own interface called Newtek. You put a referral in the system, and it gives you complete tracking capability, what we're doing with your customer. The secure file vault technology that we've got makes it very easy for the borrower to interface with us, to connect their lawyer, their accountant, their internal controller. So the business owner makes it easy. So we just go to our website, newtekone.com. We welcome people that want to provide financing to their customers. It is more than just 7A. We have 7A is our lead product. We've been doing it for 22 years, but we've got all forms of products. We do lines of credit. We do conforming bank loans, and we have this ALP loan. So if the borrower needs 7, 8, 9 million, we can put it in the ALP as well.
Well, Larry, Barry, you have a great track record to been doing this for a number of years through the Great Recession, through the pandemic, through all the disruption, the current chaos that we're working with. You definitely have the track record, and congratulations on that. My final question: give me your unique selling proposition as an SBA lender that you hang your hat on, and that you pride yourselves on executing.
And Bob, would that be in relation to a small business, an intermediary, or just the market for public good?
I'm going to back off and say, you know what? You get to answer the question any way you want.
All right. So I appreciate the question. Look, the first thing is I wake up every day and I'm proud of what we've done. I mean, if you haven't done something in the world for others, you haven't done anything. And I think we've established a platform where business owners can come to and we can solve their problem through financing, through a bank account that does not charge them any fees and pays them higher rates, better solutions for payroll, and across the board. So from an operational perspective, we've taken a business and an industry that's manual with massive amounts of friction and removed it using technology, people, and process, so that we're now providing funding to this world of entrepreneurs, as well as many other solutions to make them better and more successful. And I'm really proud of what we've built. The market, from an equity perspective, doesn't understand who we are or what we do. Banks basically make all their money on deposits well below the risk-free rate. In other words, they're not paying the customer for a government guaranteed account. They do it for 1.5% when a money market fund is 4.25%. Right. And they invest in assets that are basically risk avoidance. They have no charge-offs. We, on the other hand, pay a market rate of interest. Our cost of funds is higher, and we provide a loan that is very useful. Now, we have bigger losses. In the banking industry, when you have bigger losses, people say you're dumb. I look at what we're doing, and on a risk-adjusted basis, we do well in the program. We've survived for over 2 decades. We provide funding to small businesses, long-term patient capital, and we make a profit. I go check, check, check. So I'm very proud of the management team and what we've accomplished. That's kind of how I feel about things.
I think that's a great summation of what you do and your impact on the American economy. Hey, Barry, thank you very much for joining us. Barry Sloane, President, CEO, NewtekOne. Thank you very much, Barry.